Well, good to have you here, Coby. First
pleasure.
of all, you've made two very important moves in your life, from Perth to Melbourne,
Yes.
and from Australia to Germany.
Yes.
What have they meant for you? And maybe we can start off with the first one, Perth to Melbourne.
So Perth to Melbourne, I moved when I was 19 years old. And that was because I decided then that I wanted to be serious about my music. And, you know, I in Perth in Australia, have you been to Australia?
No, never.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got to go one time.
Yeah.
So Perth is a beautiful place, but it's quiet and it's not really the centre of music. So Melbourne is. Melbourne's on the east coast of Australia. And that makes it easier for everything, really, performing. There's a lot of venues there, other artists, musicians, so, and also performing up and down the East Coast. So I knew that if I wanted to be serious, then I had to move to the other side of Australia. That was hard, of course. You know, I was young, really young, and moved out of home and left my friends and family, and I knew one person when I moved to Melbourne.
Who was that person?
It was a friend of mine who actually I'm also now staying with her a little bit she's living in Ghent in Belgium. So another Australian and just a friend. So I just kind of went over and I just started networking and playing gigs and slowly getting out there. So that was the first move, and it was kind of in Melbourne that I really started honing my craft, I suppose. So that was where I really learned about being a musician. The truth is...
Was that because you was forced to do it there, or
yeah,
there was no...
That's because, well, I was just about to say, when I moved there, I was, you know, told you I was 19, and I was really naive. I kind of thought, I'm going to move to Melbourne and I'll sign a record deal. And that's the way it works, you know. I had no idea, I really had no idea. So then, for sure, I was forced to. It was either, you know, okay, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to be an independent artist and start with the business side of things. And, you know, so there was a time when I was doing all of my own bookings, all of my own press and PR, organising my albums, the graphic design, the photographers, the musicians, the gigs, you know, everything. So, I was forced to kind of get into that, and I feel that there is where I figured myself out. Like, you know, I learnt about wearing the business hat and also being an artist and being creative and, you know, writing songs. I did a lot of writing and recording my first EPs. So that all led me to Europe, which is a bit of the story there was, in my mind, I always knew that I was going to leave Australia. I kind of had this,
Why?
you know, I don't know why, like I just had this dream that I was going to go, you know, overseas with my music. So it was kind of, you know, get myself together and get a good product, and, you know, and that's what I did. I recorded in the States, actually, some in Australia and some in the States, and saved up to do that. And then I was signed to a publishing label in Australia. And so publishing, as I'm sure you know, they place your songs in commercials, movies, this type of thing. So one of my songs, actually the single from this debut album, was placed in a Scandinavian TV commercial. Okay. So that was the thing that I was like, hey, this is a good opportunity, you should go to Europe. And I did that. I came for just a few weeks, and I know Germany's not Scandinavia, but lucky for you guys, everything is super close, unlike, you know, where I'm from. Yeah. So everything's really close, and so I thought, yeah, so I played some shows in Germany, Scandinavia, and the shows in Germany were really well received, and I was really lucky, like great audiences, and I thought, hey, this is great over here. So that's when I packed up my bags last year. And I spent 8 months on the road, touring around. Also spent a bit of time in Holland, Belgium, UK, France, Germany, you know, and yeah, so although I moved, I moved to Europe. It was from Perth to Melbourne, and then it was from Melbourne to Europe. So I was then last year, and still am, living from my suitcase. I'm like a gypsy, so that's...
You don't have a real place to...
I don't have a real place. So I have a couple of friends with, you know, like sometimes I stay, but I'm never somewhere longer than a couple of weeks.
Seems hard to
It
me.
is, yeah. For sure it is, but at the moment that's what I need to be doing for music. So the last month and the next couple are all in Holland and Belgium, and for me that's the longest time that I've had, you know, a bit of a base as such. So, and I love Amsterdam, so I'm happy that this is my base. So yeah, it's just kind of been this continuing, and you know, it was hard. It's always hard being away from my home, but I guess I'm used to it in a way because I left Perth when I was so young, and so I've just gotten used to, okay, this is the next step for my music. This is what I have to do, and I'm going to make that sacrifice and just go, 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 go. And while it's been building up and progressing, then you know it's been worth it.